the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods after 1 week hiatus.
I like how you say that, but technically, video-wise, it's 2 weeks since the last video.
Is it?
Yes, because the thing goes weekly. So when you skip a week, it's 2 weeks since the last video.
Well, whatever. We're back.
Math.
We're back. I'm mad. You're black. We're bad. Whatever. All right. So we start with the box office, and your favorite, Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah.
Back on top. Night School, 27 million.
What's funny is that I wanted to see that movie. I didn't get around to getting out to see it because it's a Kevin Hart movie, but I will eventually see it.
Is it okay? You don't like Kevin Hart.
I don't like him,
but you want to watch this
I
because
like Kevin Hart as a person. Even though I don't like him as a comedian.
Even though he's playing Kevin Hart again.
I know, that's what bugs me.
So it's mainly Tiffany Haddish is why you want to watch.
That's why I want to see this.
That it makes a lot of sense. But you know, I get a lot of old school Moving Violations type of tone.
That's why.
Have you ever seen that one? Remember that movie, Moving Violations?
No.
Well, it takes place in the class, and it's like all these different characters are all just freaking crazy. It's a lot. Night School is a lot like that.
Very 80s movie.
It is a very 80s movie. You get freaking Moving Violations. You get Summer School. You put it together. You got Night School.
Summer School.
Either way, 27 million. Good for first place. Second place was Smallfoot, the Yeti movie.
I mean, it's the only kids movie that's out right now.
And it was alright. It wasn't too bad.
I mean, it's just an animated movie. I mean, name an animated movie that truly sucked.
Ah, man.
Really? Exactly. You can't. It's not a thing. It's just that they're mad to awesome.
Kubo.
Nobody has like, I hate it. You hated Kubo?
I did not like Kubo.
Really?
It's kind of boring to me.
I mean, God, who are you?
Okay, all right. Well, 23 million for Smallfoot. Good for second place. Number 3 was House with the Clock in Its Walls.
I knew that. Oh wait, that was another family.
That dropped pretty good, man. That was like number 1, and then it's just really declined. Like
that Smallfoot money. That was
they wanted that Smallfoot. But it's not holding. I think Jack Black star power helped it a little bit, and now it's already on the decline.
They realized that it was not Goosebumps 2, and they were like,
Which they're actually putting him. They had to market Goosebumps better, so they put him at the end of in the trailer, so they could sell more tickets for Goosebumps because the Goosebumps hasn't been trending.
I mean, because Goosebumps was like a '90s TV show. Those people have already grown up. None of the kids
right. I know, but I'm saying that they needed Jack Black's name because originally he's not really advertised for it, so they had to put him in there.
Remember Goosebumps?
Yeah. Number 4, Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, Hightness, 6 million.
That movie's gonna be in the top 5 for a while.
And finally, rounding out the top 5, The Nun, 5.4, still in there.
That's what's favorite.
It's still in there, 5.4 million.
It's gonna hang around because we're approaching Halloween. It's gonna hang around for a while. It may drop out, but then it's gonna be right back at number 5.
Yeah, we got some more things to say about The Nun, but for next week we have A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Which I saw the early reviews on it, like very high, like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, and already Oscar talk for Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
I gotta see this movie now. Like I said, I know the reviews are really good. Oscar really? I don't know. Lady Gaga, really?
Maybe, but you know why I want to see it? You got 2 comedic legends in there. You got Dave Chappelle.
I did see that in one of the trailers.
And you have Andrew Dice Clay playing Lady Gaga's dad.
Yeah.
And those 2...
He beat De Niro out for this role.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow. So I want to see it just for Dice, just for Chappelle. But Lady Gaga, from what I understand, her performance is absolutely freaking phenomenal. So
thing that came out that it's just like it said that he beat De Niro out for that role.
Wow, that's insane. And finally, Venom.
Which I'm excited to see.
I'm not.
Tom Hardy's in it.
I'm not excited.
It's loosely tied to Spider-Man. They're embargoing the reviews from all the people who got to see it, from the reviewers who got to see it with advanced screenings. They're like, you can't say nothing to the movie releases, and normally when they do that, that means
it's horrible.
Yeah,
they did that for The Predator.
Yeah,
enough said. All right, so all of this is for Venom and Stars Born. They're going at it for Columbus Day weekend. So this is Columbus Day weekend. They're trying to get that extra day of holiday money to boost that rev, but. It'll be, if it does do well the first weekend, I have a feeling that it's going to drop the second. It will not. It will be number 1 this week, though. I'm predicting that Venom will be number 1.
I hope, at the very least, if it's not that good, that it's good enough to where it appeases the fans in his interpretation as Eddie Brock and Venom, and that they can do something else with the character. If not, I hope it's completely freaking dumpster fire, and they just go ahead and cast him as Logan in the new Marvel Wolverine interpretation, because that's what I want. I don't want him as Eddie Brock. I want him as Logan.
You know, you have you got your crossover, not crossovers, but you have you know, actors that have taken on multiple comic book roles like Chris Evans and Ryan Reynolds. This is actually Tom Hardy's second after Bane. Yeah. So a third character and giving him Wolverine?
Why not?
I don't know. Why
not? Give him Wolverine. We're gonna pretend Venom didn't happen.
Well, we're in the Halloween season, right? October is finally here, and we got the Nun, you know, really hitting it pretty well in the box office. Right. Okay, The Nun is now officially the highest-grossing movie in the Conjuring universe.
Really?
It has grossed $329 million worldwide, beating the $320 that The Conjuring 2 grossed back in 2016.
Wow, I would have figured it would have been like Annabelle 2 or something, or the prequel to Annabelle 1 and 2. But I guess it's building. I mean, the success of this franchise is building each movie. I mean, if you look at the Marvel, you know, thing, all their movies continue to make more and more money. So the franchise has been going well. So everything that comes out within this universe will do well. So it's not that surprising. But I really would have thought it would have been Annabelle or something.
Well, it's you know, we talked about this the last show, how Warner Brothers was you know, struggling with the DC, but they're like making bank off of The Conjuring.
Yeah.
So
that's how they're funding that Suicide Squad sequel.
Conjuring. Oh man, they're hollowing out the Conjuring universe. All right.
Aww.
So the reviews had been mixed. The Rotten Tomatoes was at 27% for The Nun and 43%.
You don't hate The Nun.
43% of audience. The audience score was 43%. So audience liked it a little bit better than the reviewers for the movie. Now all the movies in the Conjuring universe has grossed $1.5 billion with a combined budget of $100 million.
Wow.
That's insane. But we had talked about too how freaking how you have those those low budget horror movies that are made for like $1 million and boom.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't make $1 billion as long as it made, like, they had a $10 budget, and if it made $100, they're happy.
So I think also the September 7th release date helped it too. Now originally this movie was supposed to come out in July. Terrence and Art were actually one of the first people to see this movie back in February just for test runs, and they pushed it back to September 7th release after the all of the feedback that they got from the screenings and all that. Well, September 8th, I believe, was the date that of 2017 was when it was released, and it did very well. So they were looking at that date again.
Big Time Horror does well in September.
That's what it's looking like after the release of it. So I think that helped The Nun a little bit. September 7th, September 8th, that first week of September is paying off right now. And with the release of It Chapter 2 coming out September 8th, 7th or 8th next year.
That, like, studios are looking at it. It's like, you know, big budget horror, don't wait and jam pack it in October when everything else is getting released. Release in September, let it breathe a little bit and still continue to make money well into October. So that's a good strategy.
I think matter of fact, I think it was in theaters for Halloween too, so that kind of, you know, one last push.
Yeah, one last push. Keep it out there, you know, it's making a little bit of money, keep it out there, and then boom, Halloween, make a ton.
With the success of the Conjuring universe, there are already plans for Annabelle 3, Conjuring 3, and then another spinoff with The Crooked Man. So why does religious horror do so well in the box office, do you think?
Well, one, because people can relate to it with religion. It was like, you can say, like, okay, you know, there's a biblical story in regards to it. There's a character that we've known or been taught throughout our history as with religion, period. But in every religious story, there's always some type of evil undertone and, you know, and teaching a lesson. So, like, if you get to see that particular character on screen, you're like, oh, yeah, we were like, that's the bad guy. So that makes sense.
Those
we have, like, it's almost like
subconscious fear of that kind of.
You can say that. And then also, too, like, when you look at comic book movies, it's like or comic book movies or YA novels and stuff like that, because there's already a set story or there's built-in legends and stuff with it, to where that's not the word I want to look for. There's already known. It's already known. So when you introduce that in any type of live-action setting, then people are just kind of like more drawn. Like, ooh, I want to see how it's been expanded on.
Right. So Annabelle 3 is supposed to come out next year, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we had just finished talking about Venom, and then, like Terrence said, the reviews have been on the hush, but there have been reviews on social media from people that have already seen it, and they have been mixed. This is some of the feedback that was on there. All it is Venom telling Eddie that I'm hungry, you're a loser, you're a pussy.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Kind of reminded me, as far as the certain elements of it, kind of reminds me of Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Feed me.
Yeah. That's basically the premise of
Feed me Seymour, yeah. All right. So the type of tone and origin execution, this is what somebody says also. The type of tone and the origin execution, it pretty much belongs in the 2000s.
Okay. So.
Which makes sense because some of the crew were on Raimi's.
Oh, yeah.
They were on Raimi's Spider-Man. It also said
Maybe
that
this is a story they had already had in the works and they just kind of reworked it now.
And just recast Topher Grace.
Oh my God! If Topher Grace would have been in this.
It does have great action sequences, but does not exceed the current MCU standard.
Wow, that's too high of a bar to set. Is it a decent film? Just state that. Don't compare it to the MCU. That's too high of a bar.
But as much of progress as the MCU films have done as far as movie making, you would think that all of that experience Venom would be an easier transition because you already have all that. And even though it's not part of the MCU, it's all separate, but from the way it looks, it does resemble Raimi's Spider-Man.
I think
in that universe,
had a script sitting there, and they were like, "Well, it was already written. We already paid for this thing. Let's just kind of touch it up a little bit to make it fit what we got going on right now." And
you know what would make me happy is if Tobey Maguire makes a.
It's like he'd just do his little strut out there.
All right. Anyway, so oh man. Well, Bloodshot is a comic book character that actually is getting its own movie. It's his own movie as well. Vin Diesel's playing him, right?
Maybe.
No, he is playing him. He's actually.
It's early. And so is Channing Tatum playing Gambit.
No, but he's filming the movie right now.
So is Channing Tatum.
Alrighty then. Hey, that was actually that was on the news too. That was actually getting delayed.
Yeah, because they pushed a bunch of things back, and I don't know if you have it on your list.
Dark Phoenix pushed to June.
Did you have Deadpool on your list?
Deadpool 2 re-released.
We're jumping the gun. Are we talking about that now? We're talking about Bloodshot.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so let's talk about Bloodshot real quick. Vin Diesel teased 2 Fast and the Furious spin-offs that he had spoken
Did he tease any Bloodshot stuff?
No. But he teased 2 spin-offs for Fast and the Furious with Universal. Already one is already being filmed.
Is it our Fast X crossover? Did he tease that?
Yeah, it's Xander Cage. Xander Cage is the spy that Toretto's called to go get.
It's Xander Toretto Cage.
Hobbs and Shaw is being filmed right now with Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, and so that's the one that's being filmed. Now the second one,
the Tyrese movie,
is being a spin. Why, please give me my own? I need to pitch house for it. The second one being a spin-off with an all-female cast.
Led by Michelle Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez, Devin Aoki from the first one, possibly. That would be awesome.
They're bringing back Gal Gadot from the
Gal Gadot from the grave, her twin sister, Mia.
Oh yeah,
Mia
with the baby. She's gonna go out there right after the baby.
Hold on, girl.
Hold on. I gotta make sure the car seats.
Brian, I need you to take care of the baby. I'll be back. It's girls' weekend. So she might be in there, but it may be a continuation. This is the route that I would go, because you're gonna need a really good villain, and Charlize was great in Fate. So, and since she got away, I would think that would be a perfect opportunity for a all-female spinoff to include Cypher, and let's end that
make her
arc.
Part of the team, or make her the villain?
The villain.
Okay.
No, they already did that once with freaking Statham. He was the villain, and now he's part of the team.
Why do you think they won't do it again?
Exactly. So I think continue that angle with her, lead it into episode 9. Lead it into Fast 9. What do you think?
I'm thinking about, haven't they done this already? They've included besides Statham. Haven't they included other villains? Hobbs got included. Statham got included.
Hobbs got included in the same movie.
Vin Diesel got included. Michelle Rodriguez was brainwashed, and she was a villain at the time, and then she got put back into the cast. So it's like they always add their villains into this franchise.
That's a good point.
It is. That's just what they do. Technically, Tyrese was. He was kind of the villain in the second one.
Oh man. Well, he was Black Vin.
He was Black Vin Diesel then. He was bald. He was muscular. Yeah, I kind of get it. I see it.
Yeah. And that's actually the Roman Pierce you like.
Yeah, that's the only one I like.
Okay, so which is better? Which is the better idea? Obviously, the Hobbs and Shaw's already make it.
I mean, that's done.
But what do you think about an all-female spin-off?
Well, I mean, is it going to do as badly as Ocean's 8?
Ocean's 8 didn't do bad.
I mean,
Ocean's 8 did good money.
I mean, it did good money, but anybody talking about wanting to see a sequel?
Ocean's 9?
Nope. Nobody's talking about wanting to see a sequel to that movie.
Okay, well, we're not talking about Ocean's 8. We're talking about this.
Hey, just because
you want to stick on subject.
I know it. No, but what I'm saying is that just because there's an option to do a particular type of film doesn't mean it always needs to be done. So yeah, you have female characters in this cast in this franchise right now. Do we need them in a spin-off film? Why? It's the same series.
Well, it gives the ladies a chance to shine a little bit more. I think.
Maybe if the series was done, maybe you could talk about it.
You got two more Fast and Furious.
I don't need to see a spin-off.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think Michelle Rodriguez could lead a movie.
Planes. Give me Michelle Rodriguez and Gal Gadot and Mia with the baby in the back. Give me that one I don't want to see another driving movie just because it's got girls. I don't care. Look, you already have them in there. Let them stay in this damn franchise. I don't need it extended just because. Ladies,
I'm with you. I'm looking forward to that one.
I want you to get your own stuff. I don't want you to be like trapped in this whole franchise.
All right. Well, speaking of franchise that has felt trapped, and that's Bad Boys. Bad Boys 3.
Trapped and not being made.
Bad Boys 3 is finally happening after being in development hell for the last 15 years, since freaking 2003 that Bad Boys 2 was in theaters. Nothing has come out of it. Everybody's gone their pretty much their separate ways.
I like how every time we bring this up, we always say, it's finally happening.
It's finally happening.
It's never happened.
Well, right now, Sony has made it a top priority for it to happen. It's expected to be in the theaters in January of 2020. And I think that's actually a good date for that movie. I don't think it needs to be in the summer.
I need a date, period.
I think January. Touche. I think that date would actually be good for it. Will Smith is officially on board after a crazy. Okay.
Gosh dang it.
Sorry about that. Terrence, edit that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, Will Smith is officially on board after his crazy bungee jump over the Grand Canyon.
I heard about that. I did.
Yeah, so I think he's ready to get back into some hardcore action now.
Well, he's ready to get back into some type of action. The whole thing is that I feel like this movie's going to keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And it's not going to be bad boys. It's going to be like old boys or old bad boys. Or bad men. It's like it's not even going to be the same series
Bad
anymore.
men.
Old bad men. Grumpy old bad boys. I don't know, but it's not going to be the same anymore. I think it's going to miss its window like Dumb and Dumber missed its window, like Zoolander missed its window. It needed to be made within a certain
Do you think
frame.
Anchorman 2 missed its window?
It did too. Even though I kind of like Anchorman 2. I don't know why I got all the I don't know why I got all the hate that it got.
I think Bad Boy. I think the acting chops of Will Smith, the chemistry he had with Martin Lawrence. If they bring a majority of the cast back and they get Gabrielle Union, and
I'm not worried about Will Smith. I'm worried about Martin Lawrence.
Why?
He's gonna be old man Martin Lawrence in a minute, and it's like his type of comedy ain't gonna do as well old.
What if? I don't know. If they write him right, he can freaking do it.
And by the way, how long ago was Bad Boys 2?
15 years.
They're not running a division yet? They're still detectives?
We don't know that.
You're ready for retirement.
We don't know that.
You're ready for retirement.
Hey, you know what though? This is the one movie that I want Michael Bay involved.
I do.
This is the one movie that I do want. Give me Taylor Leone back too.
Oh God. She was
all right.
Her hotness was over 10 years ago. So I'm just saying, it's like they should be the chief already.
Well, studio wants next level great, so that's why they were waiting for the right moment here.
My moment, I'm gonna be like, why are you guys not like when we were talking about Picard? I want to see Admiral Picard. I want to see Captain Picard. I want to see. Them in their prime being detectives, not old men still being detectives. Like, why haven't you been promoted yet?
Well, then this goes back to one of the questions which you put on the answer. Is it too late?
It is! They missed out when all these delays screwed this up.
Okay. What do you want to see differently then? If they do it.
Will Smith can be the police chief. Or no. Martin Lawrence is the police chief. Will Smith can be like a special advisor or something like that. And you get 2 new bad boys.
Can Joe Pontiano be the freaking mayor?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Like and you cast 2 different you cast 2 new up and coming comedians and you make them the new bad boys. Not Kevin Hart. I will boycott this movie. If you fucking put Kevin Hart as a bad boy, I will be so upset.
Key and Peele. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man. All right. Well, after this is done, Will Smith will begin shooting Bright 2 and Suicide Squad 2 also. So, God dang, man.
Man, too many pushbacks has upset me about this franchise.
Okay, now let's talk about Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 is being released in PG as a PG-13 movie. It is the Deadpool Before Christmas. That is the new title.
What's going to be is that they're going to give us a little 5-minute clip of some new stuff that Ryan Reynolds did, and they're going to cut out a bunch of stuff like the scene when he got split in half and the whole him standing up scene. If you haven't seen it, you don't want to see it. But that scene's going to be cut, and then probably some of the language and a little bit of the violence, and they'll make it PG-13. That's what I'm expecting, but it's a cash grab, dude. That's all it is. It's a freaking cash grab because they're like, I can now show my kids this movie.
No, well, it's a little bit of both. You make a lot of good points, but a lot of it had to do with everything being moved around. Dark Phoenix being moved to June. Gambit
they had to make room for this.
Gambit in hiatus. No, but that was the initial reason why. That's why they're like, man, we need something for December 21st.
Okay.
Now, December 21st right now, you got Bumblebee, you got Aquaman. It's
By the way,
Christmas
I would be
week.
mad for Bumblebee and Aquaman because now they're stealing money from them.
In a way, yes, but
yeah, because they've already made their money for this movie. They don't care what this movie can make.
That's true.
Can make $100. They don't care. They're gonna take money away from Aquaman and Bumblebee.
Yep, and then 4 days later, you get Mary Poppins Returns.
And Mary Poppins. Well, ain't nothing taken away from Mary Poppins. Everybody's gonna see Mary Poppins.
So that, that was the plan. They've retitled it A Deadpool Before Christmas. Now, in The Princess Bride, Fred Savage is actually being told a story, and now Fred Savage is actually going to reprise his role, where I think Deadpool is telling him the story.
He's all an adult.
Yeah, and he's an adult, and and it's going to go from there. I think you're right. I think there is going to be a lot of things. I think that it's going to be basically a DVD commentary, and they're just going to be goofing on it.
I don't think it.
Not goofing on it.
Like over the top of it. It's going to be 5 minutes at the beginning of the film, and then he's basically going to intro into the movie, and then he was like, what we're gonna do, he's gonna make some message about like, oh, we gotta tone this down because it's a bedtime story for you kids, and then they're gonna do all their edits, and that's all it is they could have released this straight to video and it would have been fine, but what they're doing is they're trying to screw the other studio.
The very beginning of this of Deadpool 2 was pretty violent.
Yeah.
When he fights all of the Asian dudes and
it's going to be edited up.
All of that is going to change.
So
this might be an entirely different movie.
I mean, minus some stuff.
Yeah. So cash grab, huh? That's what you think?
That's what this is. This is a straight to DVD thing.
I think it's a DVD commentary.
It's straight to DVD. This could have been
edited for television.
This could have been included in a re-release of the video. I said DVD because nobody buys DVD anymore.
So we're getting
the Blu-ray in a Blu-ray re-release. They could have put this out for Christmas because that's all this is.
So we're getting
extra minutes.
So we're getting the TNT TBS version of Deadpool.
Yes, exactly what we're getting. What we're gonna see in 10 years anyway that gets released on TV. That's what we're gonna get. Basically, you know what they did? They ensured that this will now be shown on TV.
That's very true.
They ensured that this can be shown on TV now.
Gotta pull it together.
Wait, did I take that?
So I need y'all to kind of do the same here.
Did they restring this or something?
This is the midterms.
Jaws fit one of the things that...
There you go. It's live action.
Okay, are we ready now?
Yes!
We've been ready.
Why are you yelling?
I'm always ready. I'm making moves.
Y'all trying to come up in here brand new.